Hey guys, can you hear me? I'm just making sure. Ayo, if you can hear me, let me know. It'd be helpful. Otherwise, I'll just message here. Don't mind me. It's my first time going live, so I'm just working out the technical difficulties right now, just to ensure that I can actually talk to you guys. So let me know if you guys can hear me. That'd be really helpful, to be honest. Also, I don't really like the color of this. That's better. Absolutely nothing, eh? Let me just make sure of this. It says the desktop audio. I can't even seem to see it, to be honest. Oh, wait, I am hearing some sounds. Okay, so just confirm. Can you guys hear me right now? Yes, no? I might just absolutely nothing, eh? Let me just make sure of it. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I can hear myself, which I guess is fantastic on that part. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is absolutely amazing. Like I know you guys have been watching. I've been watching just as closely, so we can see here. Let's just expand this a little bit. So as you can see here, the band has been pushing upward, which alhamdulillah is the best thing we wanted, right? Because that resistance is what's kind of keeping us down right now. And in about actually 1 minute ago, so let's just switch over. Sorry, let's just switch over to the hour candle here and see how things are progressing. So let's just full screen this. So as you can see, this candle held. We closed at, so if you look at the top left up there, we closed at 17005. That is exactly where we wanted to close, guys. So we are going on an absolutely amazing run right now. So we can hold this. We can see the bull has pushed upward. Let's just expand to see if we can see the full value of the bull here. Precision up to 8. So yeah, now we can see the bull. As you can clearly see, the upper band on it has now pushed up to 16817. So that in comparison to the previous hour of 16696 is absolutely huge, right? So that means the resistance is going to be easier as we push into that 1.7 range. Now, of course, don't expect to just like, oh, we're going to keep running, we're going to keep running. No, instead, we need to solidify this, right? So we've just closed that first candle. This is only the beginning because as we can see over here, let's jump over to the 2-hour and full screen that. So the 2-hour is a bit of a different story, right? And we're going to look through every single candle, mind you. So this is just the beginning of what we're going to be looking at. So with that being said, where is the 2-hour sitting at? Now the 2-hour, it opened at 16086. So look at this massive, massive green candle, guys. I'm so happy at this, especially considering what happened yesterday. It's huge to see this. But anyway, so compared to that, where we are right now at the open, we're trying to break through this, right? This resistance band is our main goal for every single candle. Now, if we jump over to the 4 hour, and this is the main one for quite some time, and we know for a fact our 8 hour is also going to close very, very soon. So looking at the 4 hour here, we have a whole lot of space to still move upward. So you see the very moment, and if you look very closely here, the very moment that we touch our resistance band at 17259, right around there, we came crashing down. Why? Because it is one of the more tougher ones to break, and we don't necessarily want to break it just yet. If we want to solidify this run, we want to make sure this stays this green candle. The last thing we want to do is hit these resistances too hard. Because if we do that, then we come crashing down before we can see that flip. Now looking over at the MACD, it is at the bottom here for anybody who's wondering. So as we can see here, the difference in it is huge. So the last candle was negative 201, and we are currently at 130. If I'm reading this correctly, yeah, exactly. So we're up about 70 points up. That is huge because look at what happened before. So this is now, we're talking about 8 hours ago. We were sitting at negative 199 going into negative 201. That difference had us drop quite a bit. So this is the start of a potential cross upward. So if we can hold this for about, what time is it, 10:05, 55 more minutes, we solidify it in one of the biggest candles. Now jumping over to 12 hour. So it is slightly different from my phone that oh, here it is. There's our 8 hour. Sorry about that. And wait, let me just have a look at the chat just in case anybody has any questions as well. All right, cool. So let's just. So as, oh, is that still? So as mentioned on it, swing sure. So as mentioned on it. Yeah, okay. So as mentioned on it, this is our main goal, the 8 hour. The 8 hour, well, technically the 8 hour plus the 1 day, which we'll also look into. We aren't quite there yet to look at the 1 day. So let's first focus on the 8 hour, right? So we know for a fact the 8 hour closes in 54 minutes from now, which is really good that we're having this run just before one of our biggest candle closes. So with that being said, look at the MACD going into it, right? So we know for a fact before we were waiting for that flip, we were waiting for that flip, we were waiting for that flip. Well, now that flip is starting to take hold because as you can see, two candles ago, so almost 16 hours ago, we were at a strong negative trend, right? We had a negative 221, then going to negative 247. That negative trend was still holding. This is what we wanted to see finally stop moving in this direction, and it's taking hold because currently we're at 203. It's not the most, well, 202 right now. It's not the most positive, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be. All we need to see is this trend reverse. And this trend is going to reverse if we close um, even above, like, say, for example, 169. We don't even need to be as high as we currently are, right? Like sitting at 171 USD, that is huge. That is a massive, massive price gain on it. So it's amazing to see this. Now let's jump over to the 1 day. We can also look at the 12 hour really quickly here. So on the 12 hour here, as you can see, the 12 hour opened at 16035, but also look at the 12 hour. So the 12 hour was heading in the same negative direction and has now started to change as well. Now this is also going to solidify very, very soon. It's still going to take a little bit of time, but that's okay. We're not in any rush at this, right? Like the fact that we're even seeing this is huge. We're up 6.92% on this candle alone. Like I think that's a huge win, and I'm sure all of you guys agree, especially after yesterday. That being said, let's switch over to the day candle, and then we'll of course go into the weekly, both of which are incredibly important for our run. So let's look at the day. So with that being said, the day candle currently is sitting at, let's go back to 2 days ago. Yeah, this was before the run. This was when things we could tell we were starting to head towards a negative direction. I mentioned this many times. We all saw it. We just didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. So with that being said, 2 days ago, we were at 278 negative trend, and then 223, and then 93, and currently at 64. All of these things showing us that we're getting ready in every single candle to flip. And this is very upsetting actually. The only problem, to be honest, is the fact that the weekly already closed. So if you guys have not been following or just aren't aware, the weekly closes every at least with the charts that I follow, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the thing is, this weekly candle already closed yesterday, right? So today is Thursday, it closed yesterday. Meaning regardless of what happens right now, the fact of the matter is this weekly candle will not close for another 6 days. And the thing is, there's a lot of resistance, like a lot of resistance set up right now. So let's look at the weekly as well as the daily. Here, let's go back to the daily first. So let's just, okay, I think that looks a little better. So currently, as you can see on the top over here, it's at 17111, which is fantastic. Now this is, again, on the daily. We can see our big resistance because sadly, look what happened yesterday. So I was saying this in another video of mine, but the entire goal of that crash was really to get us under these main resistance points, and that's exactly what they did, right? So we can see here yesterday, we closed at, where's our close? We closed at 16157. That close hurt. Why? It wasn't because of anything else more than this band. This resistance band, it was our support, and we closed under it. So what that means is even today with this run, this band will now act as resistance and try to pull us under. It's something we need to be aware of as we go through this day. So that being said, let's go back and see how things are progressing. The 1 minute is always a fun one to look at, so we're gonna watch it minute by minute here, because here we are, right? So why not? So let's just expand this like no tomorrow, because it's no fun seeing nothing. So this is the minute by minute chart, because we are going to be watching this live as it develops. As you can see here at the top right over here, it is sitting at 17050. This alhamdulillah is absolutely fine. You can see us coming slightly back down. That is also because the indicators are pushing towards a bit of a negative trend coming back. That is okay, because once you'll see here, this bull support will be able to hold us steady for a couple seconds before we come down on the next candle. So what do we want to see? Well, what time is it right now? It is currently 10:11. In 4 minutes, and this is the main goal here, in 4 minutes, we want to work on candles, right? So in 4 minutes, the 15-minute candle closes. So let's see how the 15-minute is developing. Oh, it's really tough to see that. Let's just zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Okay. So in 4 minutes, as I said, the 15-minute candle is closing. Now this candle is kind of key here, right? Because we're trying to win every single one. As you can see here, in terms of the MACD difference, it was about, at the start of our run, we were at 7.4, going up to 127, so an increase of about 5, then 136, so an increase of about 10 points, and then a 134. So that increase, as you can see, is starting to flatten out. Why? Because this band of resistance, you can see it here, this blue band, the 15882, we pushed up to the 16086 pushed up to 161, and then of course 16175, 16214, and currently sitting at 16254. You see this band, while it does act as resistance, at the same time it gives us our wiggle room, right? That's the upper band of resistance. So the fact of the matter is, while this is increasing, it's also pulling us down. And you can see here that's exactly what's happening. We increased, and now it is starting to get above us. So what that usually indicates is that we're likely looking to trade a little sideways. So let's just zoom in a little bit on that. So we're likely looking to trade a little sideways as the band increases a little further. We're probably looking to see this band go into, go into that, well, it's at 17088 right now, so roughly increasing towards 171 into 172 as you trade sideways for the next 45 minutes. Just going to just confirm though. I mean, if anybody wants to point out in the chat, everybody can hear me, right? Is if anybody has any questions at any point at all, like keep in mind this is my first live stream, so if you have any questions, do ask. I will try my best to answer them. And of course, also key here, in 1 minute, the 15-minute candle closes. So this will be exciting to see how this upper band of resistance changes in our favor. And we're going to actually see a change in our favor. Which, if you really want to, we can also see it develop on the 1 minute, really. So over here, let's see that develop the final minute of the 15-minute candle here. Expand, 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 expand. So as you can see on it, the 1 minutes change very, very quickly, by the way. So that negative trend that we were seeing on the 1 minute when I first started talking, it's already starting to reverse. And look at that. Look at that. So as you can see, when a candle closes, especially bigger candles, it has a much greater impact. So the 15-minute candle just closed, and it closed that positive range, which is now pushing the MACD back positive. So this is huge to see. We're currently sitting at, where's the differential difference? We're sitting at 17191. That's absolutely huge. For those wondering, it is up here. It's at the close value right here, 17144. So let's go back to the 15-minute and see how things are developing, especially with that resistance band, right? That's what we were looking at. That's what we're hoping to change things. So the 15 minutes, and now you can see it, right? Like it's, here, let's just zoom out a little bit so it's easier to tell. There we go. So we were just talking about it. As you can see here, that upper band of resistance has massively, massively pushed upward. So that upper band was at 171, and this was literally only 2 minutes ago. It's currently at 17285. That's a lot of the reason why we can even see this move upward, right? We're at 17292, right? It's because we're being given more and more wiggle room, and that is the key to all of this. So with that being said, of course, I'm going to have this open for the entirety of the day. So do be sure to like and subscribe and follow as we go through it, as we see the prices, as we see the order books, as we see the indicators. So for everybody just joining, I actually went through quite a lot of it. If there's any questions, though, we could totally go over it again. We're actually just waiting right now for the 30-minute candle to close, because that will also help things along. Let's just have a quick look at that candle as it's developing here. So let's full screen that. Wow, wow. Um, yeah, I actually for anybody who wants, I could totally talk about it here. But so we can see here, one, this is going to be our biggest resistance throughout this entire run, right? It's the upper band of resistance. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. But anyway, so with that being said, let's look at it just before the start of this run. So before this run even started, we can see here this band was at 16532. For those wondering, it's right here. This upper band, it's right here. So it was at 16532, and then we ran. And this run massively pushed up on this resistance. Because until then, this resistance was keeping us down, and it actually is still keeping us down. But the thing is, with runs, every single candle close pushes up that resistance higher. So as you can see here, after that first half an hour close, what was this one? It jumped up from 16684 to 16815, a whole 0.00002 increase. And again, in the past 23 minutes, we pushed upward into the 17002 range, which alhamdulillah means finally, our resistance are pushing up. That's what we want to see, right? Because it makes it easier for us to run the higher it comes up. So with that being said, in about 6 minutes, this candle is going to close. And if it closes currently what it is at 17004, then we're going to see that push into the 171, into the 172 range, making it only easier for us to go up. This may genuinely be the start of our actual run. But yeah, as I said, if anybody has any questions, please by all means, we're going to be watching this together all day, because I cannot stop watching this chart. I'm so excited to see this chart and so happy to see us actually going on a run. So with that being said, in fact, in actually a minute, we're going to see the 5-minute candle close. So I do want to see how that's coming along. As we can see here, ever since we hit that upper band of resistance, we did have to come down, and we did need to trade sideways. We were expecting this, though. Don't get discouraged by this. This is the normal thing. When you hit the upper band, you're gonna usually break, and then you're gonna go sideways. But while you do go sideways, what happens is this band goes higher to give you room. So that's why while we were doing this little dip, this was coming higher and higher, allowing us to now run again. See, before, and this was what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes ago, before, when we were pushing this range of 173-ish, we weren't able to push any higher because of that band. Now, we're currently at, as you can see here on the side, 172, the price range of 172 roughly. Now, that upper resistance is at 177, guys, meaning we have no problems now to run again. And we will start to run again. It's just a matter of being patient with it as the candles develop, as they move towards our price points. So once more, it's been 5 minutes now. This candle just opened up. We can see the upper resistance went from 176 to 177. That's slow but amazing grind. So what do we have left? In 4 minutes, right here, in 4 minutes, we're about to close the half an hour candle, the 15-minute candle. So let's look at both of those things. So here we are, 15-minute candle, as you can see, and this is always going to be the story, right? The story here is, what is the resistance at, and what can our run do given the resistance? So let's just zoom out a little bit. So for those who can clearly see it, at the start of the run, resistance was at 16290, currently at 17297. Do you see what's happening? The resistance is pushing upward, but at the same time, it's preventing us from running. So what we're probably expecting to happen is something similar to what we saw about 15, 30, 45, and about an hour ago. So we had this little break in the resistance band and then a bit of sideways movement. So at the moment, we're also starting to see that slight break occur. So what's going to happen is, in about 3 minutes, 3 minutes from now, this resistance band is going to push upward, and we're going to move a little bit sideways. We're probably looking to move between 171 to 173 for at least 2 more candles before we push into the 174, 175 range, which is huge. Like, I'm excited for this. I'm going to be watching it. So please do join me for it. Also, let me know what you guys think. Why the pump? This is an amazing question, Dave. This is actually really interesting. Like, I've been wondering that myself, and because I'm only looking at the charts right now, and because I'm live, I can't actually look it up. But if anybody knows any news on why it's happening now all of a sudden, because we know for a fact we were starting to see the candles flip, right? We saw this happen about 12 hours ago. We knew in about 12 hours time we would start to see a positive momentum, but this was not what I was expecting at all. Gloom and doom this morning when I was on Twitter earlier. I think I was one of the few people who was able to strongly, I think I was one of the few people who was able to strongly suggest that this doom and gloom would not last and that we would see a push upward again very, very soon into the next day. But you know how Twitter gets. Everybody gets upset very, very quickly. So you tell me. So with that being said, we have 2 minutes left. Thanks for explaining. I'm trying. And thank you guys for joining. Like first time doing a live stream. It is very strange. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's so strange. For anybody who's done a live stream, like a props to you guys. It's not easy to do. That's for certain. So with that being said, let's look at a 30-minute candle because in 2 minutes now, this is going to close. We looked at the 15, we looked at the 5, but this is also key, right? And we're going to be looking at more and more candles as the day progresses because that's what's going to allow us to run further along. So that being said, let's just zoom in a little bit because I don't like how far away it is. Okay, so as you can see here, one, beautiful. I am so happy to see green candles. Like I feel like sometimes we just forget because we have like, where is it? We have like moments of absolute dread, like this, like yesterday with this negative downtrend. But yeah, so we can see those same reverse flips. Anyway, with that being said, 1 minute left. So we can see the upper band resistance at 17014. This is a half an hour candle, mind you. So it's a very good and stronger candle that we want to see push upward. So the 17018 now is likely going to push into the 171172 range, allowing us to move a little bit more. But keep in mind, this cannot keep going like this, right? Because the entire point of these resistance bands is that we move within them. That's why you can see it being in the shaded range. So likely, and you can probably see, let's have a look at our indicators to confirm this. But as you can see at the start, we were at 5.8, jumped up to 9.7, so an increase of about 40 basis points. And then from there, 5.8, 9.7, and then of course 135. So if you guys can see that trend, it was slowing down, right? So that was about 40 into 38 and now into just under 30, I think 27. So you can see this positive momentum slowing down. And that's to be expected as we start to trade sideways, allowing this resistance band to push upward. The higher it pushes, the more room we have to run. So don't get discouraged. It's not like anything has stopped happening. No. Instead, it's the opposite. We're consolidating, which is one of the most important things, right? Like, yes, runs are very important. But if you don't consolidate, if you don't build up your support, you're going to fall just as quickly. So this is a very good thing that we wanted to see. We're currently pushing at 173. I don't like the fact it's, let me see if I can add more decimal points to this. Price bar ratio, decimal places. There we go. Okay. Now, at any given time, for those wondering, you can always see the price on the right side as it moves along the scale. Thank you so much for the support and for the kind words, Dave. I really appreciate that. I hope you have an amazing day. If at any point you want to come back on, I'm probably going to be here all day streaming it so that everybody can have a chance to see what's going on, be able to keep up to date. So I'll see you soon. For everybody just joining, I went through most of everything that we needed to cover. So for the moment, we're just going to be looking at the candles as it comes along. If anybody has any questions, though, by all means, please do drop it in the comments, as I will answer every question, or at least try to. For the moment, we are seeing this bottom develop, as you can see here, which alhamdulillah is absolutely fine, because we can see from the indicators here, we are headed towards a negative trend. Now, once we touch this blue line right here, we're gonna, yep, as you can see, we're gonna bounce right back up. So there's not too much to worry about. In fact, this is all very good as you consolidate. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we have about 3 minutes left until the 15-minute candle close. Just wanted to update on that as things are progressing. So let's have a quick look. Yeah. First off, let's start with the 1 minute because it's the most fun candle because you can always see things as they come along. So with the 1 minute, we can see we're starting. Here, let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. Uh, yeah, there we go. So you can start to see that we had that massive run up that helped with our run, and now we're starting to consolidate once more as we tighten our bands. This is actually a good thing, right? And you'll see why in a second. Let's jump over to the other candles so you can see why this is such a good thing. And also 2 minutes until 15-minute close, which is very, very exciting. So let's have a look at the 5-minute candle. And that is way too zoomed in. Here is why it's such a good thing. So you can, well, and you'll see it more and more the more progressive candles. But from before, when we first started to have our run, the upper band of resistance was sitting at 16527. That was too strong, right? So even if we have our run, the band is going to pull us back. And as you can see, it started to pull us back. But now, despite us going sideways, up and down, up and down, up and down, the band is starting to push higher and higher and higher, right? It's currently at 17768. This means now the next time that we have this run going, we're going to be able to push up with less resistance as we move. And that's very, very good for us. So with that being said, let's see how the 15-minute candle is developing, because obviously the 5-minute, the 1 minute, while they are candles, they aren't the strongest. So we're going to move towards bigger and bigger candles as we talk about it. So let's look at the 15-minute candle. Here it is. Once more, we can see when we had our massive run up, and then we can see that we broke through. Let's just zoom in a little bit. We broke through that upper resistance, right? Anytime you break through an upper resistance, usually you'll be able to hold it for 1 to 2 candles before you start to consolidate. And that's what we're starting to see, right? We broke through the candle, and then the consolidation, then the 1, 2 candles, and now the consolidation. See, no longer are we breaking through the upper band of resistance anymore. Rather, we're starting to go sideways, and there it is. We just closed the 15-minute, and once more, that sideways buildup. If you recall, this looks very, very familiar to the 5-minute candle. Why? Because this is what we want to see happen. We want to see a push-up, as a bit of sideways, to allow that resistance to push higher so we can run easier. Now, as you can see, the upper band of resistance is at 17492. This is really good for us because that means that the next time as we build up this consolidation, as our supports start to come upward. So you can see here, let's just zoom out a little bit. So you can see here, anytime you have an explosive run, you're going to have both bands expand in both directions. This is because of the volatility that's involved. Now, when you start to consolidate, you're going to see it. But look over here. The lower band is starting to come back upward. It has started to plateau, and it's now starting to push upward. You can see it here in the actual Bollinger Band here. It is pushing upward. All of our supports are coming up as we consolidate. That is the entire point of us going sideways, by the way. And in, of course, the next candle, let's jump over to 30-minute. Mind you, the 30-minute closes in 14 minutes, so we still have time for that. But just to give a quick update on that, you can see, and it's going to be the same pattern, right? So see, there was our giant run, 1, 2 candles, and now we're coming back into that resistance line. So what that tells us is, one, we're gonna be somewhere between the low of this at 1.7 to the high of at 1.73. Why? Because our resistance band is at 1.7134. It's just not high enough yet to allow us to keep running. Okay, hey guys, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. So we are coming up to the biggest moment, arguably, in for today actually, other than obviously day close. So that is the 8 hours about to close. So this is going to be huge because we're currently trending at 17072. That is massive. To show you why, let's jump over to the 8 hour. Well, I mean, we still have time until then, but no, I do want to talk about the 8 hour because I think it's super important to look at it. So this is our 8 hour. It is wild how things have developed. So this was our crash. Everybody remembers it. It was shocking. It was upsetting. It was what it was. Now that being said, we did head downward again. So let's look at our indicators first. As you can see at the bottom here, it was, so look over here. It was at 148 going down to 221 into 247. So you can see the rate of negative trend slowing down. Alhamdulillah is a very good thing. Hey, stop it. No, down. Sorry, that was my cat. Anyway, so as I was saying, so you can see that negative trend slowing down. Then it went into 247. Now, this candle changed everything. And if we do close 169 plus, then the entire trend flips on its head. What that means is, one, let's just zoom in a little bit. So as we can see here, this was our support band. So it was supporting us as we were falling, as we were struggling. And you can see that every time we touched it, we would come back up. We would try and find our supports. Even with this candle right here, the run up was right on the support as we were moving upward. That being said, once you pass supports, there's a resistance. There's two main resistances, right? There's the Bollinger Band, which is the trend line of it, and the upper resistance. And the upper resistance is far up here at 18655, which is a very good thing because what that means is we're not going to have any issues with hitting this resistance point for quite some time, even with this run. The bigger issue will be this one, the trend line. Because as you can see, this trend line is sitting at 174. The moment we came very close to it, we slammed right back down, right? So when we close, and we close in 4 minutes, when we close, we're expecting this band to move slightly lower, but hopefully this trend line to push a little bit higher. If it does either of those two things, then we're looking to be better off as we run towards 1.8, because that's our next goal, right? At this point, this band would be our next goal. Push past that 17495 and go towards 1.8 to eventually push against this, the upper resistance. Every other candle is already doing this very, very well. To just show you an indicator of that, let's look at the 30-minute. So we can see, oh, where is everything? Right there it is. So you can see here, we're pushing against this resistance very, very well, but it does also mean we need the resistance to go higher. So with that being said, we're likely looking to be going sideways for about 4 candles. The next 2 hours or so will be sideways between 169 and 173, while that resistance pushes upward and gives us wiggle room to really breathe. And you can see this likely in the support. Yep. Oh, so if you look at the bottom here, again, the indicators, we went to 9.7, a difference up to 135. That was about 38, give or take. And then 141, you can see how that's only a difference of 6, right? So very clearly by this, we're going to be starting to go sideways as our indicators need to push upward. Sorry, as our resistances need to push upward. So there's only 2 minutes left. Now we've covered 2 of them. We still have quite a few candles left to talk about. Up next, let's talk about the hour candle. So the hour candle and how is it developing? Are we pushing up on the resistance band? Well, very, very clearly we are, right? So you can see this was our run-up candle. It broke through. Now the trend always with these things is one, you have a run-up candle, it breaks right through. The second one hovers well above resistance, and then you start to trend sideways. So this is a strong indicator of this, as usually the increase isn't that much compared to the previous hour. So everything is currently following the regular pattern of a run-up. So with that being said, what are we expecting from here? Well, we're expecting this resistance to come upward. So it's currently at it's sitting at 16877. That's too low for our liking. We need it higher. So it's gonna happen in about 1 minute. Yeah, there's only 1 minute left. In 1 minute, you're gonna see this push up. So the number I'm looking at right here, over here, you're gonna see this value push up from 16875 to possibly 1699 into 17. Once we confirm it's pushed upward, that means we're going to have an easier time as we move along. But it also means we're going to trade sideways. We're probably going to trade between 168 to 171 for the next 3 hours or so. Now, of course, this is only the hour candle. A whole lot of candles are actually closing all together right now. So the next one is the 2-hour candle. Let's just expand on that and have a look. Oh, the candle did just close. So actually, because the candle just closed, let's quickly look at the 8-hour. This is our main candle we're focusing on right now. So we want to see how are things developing. So this was our 8-hour candle with the run up, right? So this was an hour ago. We had this beautiful, beautiful run up. Now, how is it helping us? How is it taking it away from us? Well, first off, let's look at the indicators. As we can see, and by the way, I'm looking right here. As you can see, I mentioned before, our indicators were negative, and I said this yesterday. This negative trend would not last as we expect to see things flip over. So yesterday was at negative 148 going into negative 221. That's a strong negative trend going into 247. We can see that slowdown occur as this support line helps us out. And then, of course, we had our massive run up. Now, this flipped things on its head as we finally changed positive into 202. Now, that's a difference of 45 basis points. Now, let's look over here, and we can see it's at 170 right now. That is also a difference of about 32, 31-ish, give or take. So what that means is we are finally trending back positive. What we'll likely see is what's the current value right now? We're seeing at 17051. We're likely going to see an increase up to 172 into the 174 range. So likely for the next 8 hours, unless some massive news comes out, we're likely going to be sitting around this range. Why? Because of this band right here is going to keep us down. It's going to keep us down for at least one candle. So that means our day close is going to be beautiful, because let's look over at our day close. Keep in mind, our day close closes in 8 hours. So this is our day close. So our day close started off a very, very rough negative trend, right? And we know this because of yesterday. Everything went down because of yesterday. So it was at 223, it went down to 93. That is a massive, massive, massive drop. But today's run up has started to change things very, very quickly. So usually when you see this kind of thing, you're expecting to have a negative days for a couple more days. But at our current state, so we're going from 9.3 to 5.8. That is a massive slowdown, right? So at our current state, if we close today above 169, which indicators are showing we will, then that means we should see the day trend flip. This day trend will likely flip tomorrow. Well, actually, no, either tonight or tomorrow night. In which case, we have every candle we need at that point to start pushing back upward to move well and start moving into the 1.8 range. I do love the 4-hour. It's one of my favorite candles to talk about, but I think I've covered most of everything. For those who are listening, I hope it made a lot of sense. If you have any questions as well, just let me know. I will be here, and I'll be updating like every 15, 30, or every hour just to see how things are progressing along, right? Because these things, of course, they're not absolutes. They're just things that I use to help predict, and it seems to work pretty well. So that being said, let's again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave in comments. But for now, let's talk about the 4-hour. So the 4-hour is actually what told me. I know there's a whole lot of negative chatter on Twitter about like, oh no, what was going on? But the 4-hour indicated to me that, oh, this trend wasn't going to last very long. We're going to have a reversal. And we can see that very, very clearly here at the bottom. We had that negative strong indication, but we peaked. And we peaked fairly early in, right? Because you can see this was 3 candles ago. we peaked almost 8 hours ago. So we knew we were going to have this reverse momentum occur. And it's fairly strong right now, right? So let's see. This was at negative 201. Thanks for the great. Thank you. I appreciate the support. And I'm glad I'm able to give some sort of guidance, especially when these things are occurring. Like, I was so excited that we're starting to have this run. So if you guys like this format, I will be live streaming more. Let me know, or if you just prefer the tweets as well as the update posts, whichever works better. So with that being said, you can see here 201 into 119 into 67. So, oh, interesting. So we can actually see here the 4 hour is slowing down. So that is a pretty strong indicator that once we hit this resistance band, we kind of stopped moving, right? That was it for us. Hey guys, welcome back. So once more, we're at the 15-minute mark, and we can see this massive, massive run starting to continue to form. Just gonna zoom into it really quick. So we did just close the 15-minute candle, which is very, very exciting to see. So let's zoom in on it here. We can see this one red candle, which hung is absolutely fine. Do not mind this at all, because really, let's just hide these. Okay, so as we can see here, we've been pushing up on this resistance. This resistance has now gone from like literally what 2 hours ago at 17165 all the way to 17448. So what that does mean though, and keep this in mind, is that as we keep pushing upward, we're gonna need to start consolidating. So we can see we broke it, a little bit of push. We're now starting to move into that range, right? So what that means is right now we're probably gonna be sitting between, what is the low of this? 173, roughly the low of 173, probably around here, maybe 172, between 172 to around 1735 as we start to consolidate sideways. So it's not a big issue. Don't be upset if we're not running or if something's going wrong, because nothing is going wrong right now. We're just building up our support as we're allowing our supports to come up and the resistance to push higher. So this will probably push into 175 around 11:30. So do look forward to that. Let's look at the half an hour to see what's going on that front. As we can see here, let's just zoom out a second. So as we can see here, one, we pushed past, of course, the upper resistance, and now we're slowly, slowly starting to form into the upper band, right? So probably by the next candle, we'll be within this upper band of resistance and start to move sideways. So yeah, it's everything's actually going really well and according to the charts, which is nice to see, and it's a lot of fun to keep up with. Damn, guys, are you seeing this? This is wild. We still have another 9 minutes until half an hour close, but just jump over to the 1 minute for a quick second. Because look at what's going on right now. Zoom in like no tomorrow. Look at that. So what happened was, for those who are unaware, one, we initially first pushed up on this resistance, right? So we pushed up on it. But usually what happens is when you have one candle, it's usually about one candle breaks, one candle in it, and then you start to go sideways. So we can see that sideways momentum build up. The reason for that sideways momentum is to allow that resistance to come upward and our supports to push up. So that being said, here's what happened. We did this consolidation, we did this sideways movement, and then bam, once you're done with that, once you've had your supports, you look towards the indicators to see, are we going to move upwards from here or downward? In most cases, you touch down on the support, which is right here. We touch down our support and then start running up. Now, we are running up again and starting to push that upper band of resistance once more. That being said, well, we're going to experience the exact same thing. So remember what happened here? We broke and then had one and then sideways. So look, exactly as I'm saying, this is happening live. We broke, have one, and we're gonna have that sideways momentum. This isn't like I'm telling you, this is how it works, and it's exactly how it's happening right now. We are running up, and we're running so strong, alhamdulillah. But keep in mind that it does mean that we might maybe running a little too quickly as we don't have the supports ready for it. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we are once more at the half an hour mark here, and we are running so amazingly. It's insane to see this run, actually. So that being said, let's look at the half an hour candle and see how it's developing. Yeah. So once more, look at this. This is insane. So yes, we broke. We had an amazing half an hour break. We had that one candle, and then we tried to start straight sideways. Now once more, unless something changes in the next 30 seconds, we're gonna have another candle that breaks. With this candle, we're likely looking to trade sideways, mind you, towards that 175, a little down towards 174. But we may see a bit of a push at the very beginning. So it depends entirely on how much we break here. It looks like we're running up. How much time do we have left? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here it is. So we see our resistance band has now gone up to 17532. Huge, guys. But that being said, we're likely going to have this candle fall within the line. Yeah, you can see it. It is trying to pull us down within the resistance line, and it is actually kind of succeeding in this front, which is okay, because that means we have, let's see what this candle is at. We have a range of 160. Wow, that's huge range. So for the next 2 to 3 hours, likely. No, not 2 to 3 hours. For the next hour and a half. Hey guys, welcome back. So we are at the final 15 minutes really of this live stream. I just wanted to update as things progress along. So we are looking at the 15-minute candle here as it closes. Let's just open that up really quickly here. See how that's coming along. So as you can see, since about 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. So in about an hour and a half ago since our huge run up, we had the one candle, the two candle above resistance line, and now we're consolidating within it. So the resistance line allowed us to consolidate for about 15, 30, 45, 60, 75 minutes as we start to push upward. In that time that it looks like we do nothing, there's actually a huge movement that occurs. You can see this here. During the run, it was at 1.6. So by the way, the number's up here. So here is the upper band resistance. It was at 1.655, moved to 1.68, 1.69, 1.71, 1.72, 1.73, 1.74, 1.76, 7, 8, and currently 1.7997. So what that all means is alhamdulillah, this consolidation was important because we didn't want to keep hitting this resistance line. If we kept hitting the line, we would have lost our momentum and gone downward. Instead, what we wanted to see was this sideways movement as this built. And the more it built, it allowed us to push upward. So we just closed, and as you can see here, we pushed almost into the 1.8 range. What that means is in about probably the next, again, we're looking at 15-minute candles, probably the next 15-minute candle to next 3 candles, so within the next 45 minutes, we could run upwards and be okay. We could push into close to 1.8 and not face too many issues. That being said, of course, there are other candles involved. So let's look at the 1 hour. This does close in 15 minutes, right? So let's look at the 1 hour really quickly. 1 hour paints a bit of a different story, and this is important to know. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So exactly how the 15-minute candle works, we have our big break, right? This is the big break. Then we have the one candle completely completely above the resistance line. The second one is now partially above the resistance line. What that tells us is this next 15 minutes will be the final, more or less the final 15 minutes of a massive push. So we're likely looking at about a sideways movement coming into here for the next 1, 2 to 3 candles in the positive momentum. How do we know it's going positive? Well, that's simple. We just look at our indicators, right? So we can see here, just before the run, we were at negative 176, negative 99, and negative 003. So as you can imagine, we're about to push in the next hour into that positive range. So we know sorry, that's my cat. So we know when we do close this candle, when we push into that consolidation, we have this positive momentum to allow us to run. So likely the current resistance is at 17165. Again, it's right here. So that 17165 in about 15 minutes, we'll likely see it push up to the 173, 174 range. That's still not high enough, right? Like our current price is 176. So we clearly know the resistance is not high enough to give us room. So what that means is we need to trade sideways. It's just something that has to occur to allow us to run more. So I think that covers the hour. Again, I'll update again. So it's 11:47 right now. If you guys want to come back in about 10 to 12 minutes, I'll update the 18 and 30 minutes to see how that develops along. For those who missed it, again, as I've said, I update every 15 minutes for the bigger candles, especially the hour candles that is coming up to a close, because it is very important to understand how that's coming along to see if this one is going to keep going. So I'm going to have this up. I'm going to have it on the minute candle because it's always fun to see. But do check back in about 10 minutes as I update again. Wow, let's just zoom into that. So I mean, really quickly because I already have it open here. So we can see that the minute candle actually is looking very healthy. So as you can see here, the minute candle is starting to get very tight on it, which is a good thing, right? Because that means we're consolidating very well. So what do we know from this? We know our upper band of resistance in the minute is 17650. And we have plenty of room. We're currently sitting at 17583. That means there's not going to be any issues. We have our support here at 1755. So even if we come down, we may come down to the 1755 range, push up on that, and start to move upward. So there's no issues with the minute candle. There isn't too many on anything else we've already covered. So again, check back in 10 minutes, and I'll update you guys on how the big candles are coming along. I will have this open so you can always watch as it develops as well. Oh, also, if you guys have any questions, by all means, just go ahead and drop it in the comments, and I will answer them as best I can. And thank you for listening and tuning in. Hey guys, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. So once more, we are approaching the hour close. There's actually only 1 minute left to the hour close. So let's quickly talk about everything that's progressing. Currently, the price is at 17450, which alhamdulillah is absolutely fine. We can see a bit of this downward trend building, which is okay because we know we were going to stay around the 174 range anyway, and it's clearly showing to be the case, right? So let's head over to let's look at 15-minute first, how that's developing. So oh wow, this is really hard to see. There we go. Okay, so we knew this was going to happen, right? So we knew the way that it works is, and if you guys are unaware, you break, you have two candles outside, and then consolidation. That's currently what's happening right now, right? While it looks like, oh no, we're headed down, no, we're not. We're absolutely not. Instead, we're actually consolidating right around this range as this upper band pushes higher. It's at 179.81 or 82 right now. When it closes, it's finally going to be at that 1.8 range, which is great for us because that means when we run up, we can finally start to push into that 1.8 range. So, well, it had already closed, but let's look over. Oh, actually, here, perfect. It just closed, so let's look at it. As you can see here, exactly as I said, it's finally at this upper resistance at 1.8. This gives us a chance, and it likely will be in the next hour or so, we may start to push into this resistance band once more as we end our consolidation phase. But before we can jump into that, let's look over at the 30-minute and hour candles that just closed, because this will determine how things are progressing, right? So once more, as mentioned before, we have the one break, the two candles, and then the consolidation. So for the half an hour mark, the consolidation has only just begun, right? You can see this here. Let's just zoom in a little bit on it. The upper band of resistance currently is at 17655. We all know this is not high enough for us to continue running. So what that means is we're going to need a bit of a consolidation going forward. So if this is, I think, the half an hour, yeah, the 30-minute candle. So for the 30-minute candle, we're going to need to allow this to go trade sideways for a little bit longer, probably looking for the next hour into 2 hours as we allow this resistance to push up into the 1.8 range. Then, of course, the final one we need to talk about, which just closed as well, the hour candle. Now, the hour candle has yet to actually go through its end phase of the run-up. It looks like it's just about arrived at it with the resistance at 1, 2 into the 6, 4. So this is plateauing, as we can see here, which alhamdulillah is exactly what we want to see. As now this candle will probably trade between 173 to 175 as this resistance band comes up. So once it finally pushes up, we will see that band go into the 175 range the next hour and the 177. So with all of that being said, don't expect us to leave 1.7 range just yet. Although we had this great run, it's now time to consolidate so we can build up to run again. Thanks for listening. I will update you guys very soon. Thank you for joining this live.